Connor McDavid
Yeah.
is going to win the Conn Smythe Trophy, even if they lose this series.
It would be so before the last two games, obviously I would have said Bobrovsky.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be tough to choose between the two. I think those are the two clear runaways with it, right? Um, I think there's only been one other person in history to win the Conn Smythe of a losing team, but man, he's setting records yet again, surpassing the great one or tying him. 42 points in the postseason alone, 8 goals, 34 assists. And, for the better part of, I think I read a stat like the 117 goals that were scored uh, from the Oilers this season at one point, or at least a large portion of it, McDavid had an assist for it. It's absolutely insane. Like he had 80 assists. No, it's his career playoffs, but he's turning it up. And look, this is what they need. They were down 3-0. All right.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped the first two in Florida. They dropped one in Edmonton. And then, game 4 is when it just looked like things clicked and their offense came alive. And then I'll be honest with you, you go back to Florida. It was for me, it was almost like, is this going to be a similar situation to the NBA finals that we just witnessed? But they came out with a vengeance. I think they went up, 2-0, 3-0, and then Florida crawled back into it really, really well too. They went on a surge, and I didn't watch the game fully last night, but when I got the alert that it was within one again, that it was 3-4, I watched the last 15 minutes through and through, and that was very exciting hockey.
Yes,
I will say hats off to the way Florida played to the buzzer, man. That you can tell that they wanted it, from Tkachuk stopping that empty netter to McDavid turning around and saying, fuck you, I'm going to score it anyways. It doesn't matter. And listen, Ekman Larson, what the fuck are you doing on that play? You have Tkachuk literally lay out on the ice, stop the empty net goal, push it in the corner. It's almost like he thought it went in. So he basically, you can tell he was standing straight up on his skates. He thought everything was over. And then it wasn't until he saw McDavid get the puck again and rifle it into the net was when he realized, like, oh shit, I probably should have been playing. But look, man, as a Ranger fan, I'm in a tough situation right now because part of me was ready and accepting the fact that we lost to the best team and Florida was going to win. And I was okay with that. But I can't say I'm not excited to see Edmonton make a series out of this. And that's exactly what they did. And they're going back into Edmonton with their offense clicking, with McDavid looking like McDavid and not like the first 3 games. And things are just working. And it's going to be very, very exciting to watch because if they do 4-7, I'll be honest with you, I'd be scared for Florida. This is the first offense over a 2-game span in the NHL playoffs that have made Sergei Bobrovsky look like a normal goaltender, which if you know hockey and you've been following is me saying he should just pack up his shit and leave. There's Jesus, the Oilers got 8 by him. They're not 8 by him the other night, but they pulled him. They pulled him in game 4, obviously with the thought of resting him for 5, and they're still able to get goals past him, which is huge. Huge. And if you watch the Eastern Conference Final, the Rangers, apart from their stars absolutely not showing up, one thing they couldn't get is shots on net, and the shots that were on net they couldn't get past Bob. So look, I'm hoping for a game 7 force here because that would be fantastic and exciting all around. But I don't know. I still think the Panthers take it. I think they reset. They've got a really good coach. They've got a great goaltender. I just think they need to figure out how to look towards game 6 and wrap it up in Edmonton. They have to, right?
Yeah.
It's
has 0-3 ever been overcome in hockey?
In the Cup final, I don't know. It has in the earlier rounds, like the LA Kings in 2012. I think the first round they were down 0-3, came back, did the reverse sweep. And then they marched on to win the cup that year. And then, of course, 2 years later against my Rangers. I don't know if anybody in the cup finals has come back from it.
I owe Connor McDavid a huge apology because I was shitting on him pretty much all playoffs. And then here he comes, like just right on time. And if I'm Florida, I'm kind of nervous, right? Because they were in the cup last year and lost. Like this is their time. I felt like they felt that. I feel like Hockey World felt that. Mm-hmm. But you can't let a team who build this confidence like this. Like it's on now. Like it's legit on. And don't let them win game 6, like you said. Because if Edmonton wins, I'm sorry, game 5 is coming up. If Edmonton wins game 5, man, I think Edmonton could win.
No, you're right. Game 6. We're coming up on game 6.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, game 6. So my title card is wrong. Edmonton forced game 6. They just played game 5.
Yeah.
But either way, whatever. If Edmonton wins this next game and it goes 7 games, Edmonton is going to win the Stanley Cup. I like that momentum. It's a long cliched thing. It's easy to get momentum. It's hard to hold on to it. Once you lose that momentum, man, you can't get it back. And so, yeah, don't let Edmonton come through. Like the confidence is there now. So, Florida, God bless you, man. It's got to be a very stressful time for Panthers fans in Florida, especially the Florida people, as much as especially those guys in Miami hate Boston as much as Sixers fans do and New York fans do. So they have to come out and do something about any of this. It's just funny.
Yeah, so there was only one team to ever come back. It was the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1942 against the Detroit Red Wings. And just for a history lesson, there were only 6 NHL teams in 1942, whereas now there's 32. And a much, much aggressive playoff format, to say the least. But the Toronto Maple Leafs 82 whatever years ago did come back from an 0-3 deficit, and now the Edmonton Oilers look to do it in the new age of hockey.